Peace, everybody. It's your man's Khalil Gerard, and welcome back to the channel. And today is going to be day number 10 on my body gain, fitness, and health journey. Day number 10, man, let me pat myself on the back right there. But before I get into the workout, today I want to discuss the importance of having high standards for yourself. Now, if you look back at your life, you probably can see different moments where you just settled for anything. You settled for lower quality interactions with people. You settled for just falling short of your goals. You settled for just dealing with situations and circumstances that weren't advantageous for you. And sometimes, in some cases, you might look back and ask yourself, why did you accept that? Why did you deal with that person? Why did you accept that type of experience from a restaurant per se, or a different business establishment you may have frequented, right? But you can't blame those people for you continuing to accept that type of treatment, continuing to accept that type of business. If you continue to accept it, that's a habit. That's something that you have to deal with yourself, right? In different relationships, we deal with different people. And in a lot of cases, that comes back to a negative self-image that we have from ourselves. A lot of us are dealing with deeply rooted childhood issues that have yet to have been addressed. A lot of us may not have parents or siblings or family members or even close acquaintances that we can trust enough to speak with and who can give us some good wisdom and to be able to help us navigate these type of circumstances and terrains. But as an adult, and even if you're a teen watching this, you have to have presence of mind. You have to be able to analyze yourself and look at the situations and not be a victim of the situation, but look at it as a way of, okay, I may have taken this loss in this situation, but what kind of lesson can I learn from this? Which brings me back to the whole point of the topic, having high standards for yourself. What type of person do you see yourself as? What is the highest ideal version of yourself? How does that person operate? How does that person navigate the world? What type of interactions does that person have with other people? What type of relationships does that person have, right? What examples do you have of a person who has high standards? Do you even have examples of that, right? Even appropriate examples, because the younger you are, you may be misguided. You may view one person or one group of people, one situation as being ideal. But as you get older, as you gain more knowledge and wisdom and understanding, you start to understand where your thinking may have been flawed, where the way you may have viewed the world may have been flawed, right? And today, you have the opportunity to change. You have the opportunity to say, you know what, I'm no longer going to accept this, even if it was just yesterday, even if it was just last night, even if it was just 5 minutes ago. No one can pigeonhole you to a version of yourself that you no longer want to be, right? So you got to have high standards for yourself. I know myself, a lot of times in my life, if I look back in my past, I haven't always had a higher standard for myself. Even if I proclaimed that I did, even if I wanted to have the standard, sometimes I did things that may have came off desperate. Sometimes I may have done things that I'm not proud of, right? But as I've gotten older, as I've gained more information, as I've gained more knowledge and wisdom, as I gained more love for myself, as I gain more appreciation for myself, there's just certain things I'm not going to tolerate from others. And then more importantly, there's things that I'm not going to tolerate with myself, right? The bad diet that I struggle with from time to time. I have to have higher standards, right? I have to have an understanding and a knowing that I deserve the highest quality of food that goes into my body. My body isn't a trash can, and neither is yours, right? You're not an emotional waste bin. You don't have to deal with people's negative emotions in ways that you don't want to deal with it, right? You can remove yourself from that situation. You can remove yourself from that environment. And even if in the moment you can't, you can still choose how to respond to it, right? Until you're able to remove yourself from that environment. And it's important to have high standards, right? If you want to be treated like royalty, you have to conduct yourself like royalty. If you want to be treated like someone who's worthy of respect, you have to respect yourself. Now, that's not to say that people should just disrespect you. It's just to say that when you carry yourself with respect versus carrying yourself with no respect, you're going to see a difference in the way that other people react with you, or the way other people interact with you, rather. And higher standards for yourself is important. Higher standards runs the gambit. Higher standards for every area of your life. It's important to have higher standards in the food that you eat, the liquids that you consume, the content, in your social media posts. Like, I get it. We only got one life to live, right? And you're not just put here just to be super serious all the time and not have any fun and not experience any entertainment. But at the same time, you're not here just to only be entertained. You're not here just to only be distracted. You're not here just to only have it easy and not putting any work, or have challenges that you surmount and just overcome, right? You're here to become a better version of yourself. You're here to take what you have and make something out of it. Make something greater out of it. Leave a legacy. Leave a good impression with the people that you come across, right? Now, you can't control the thoughts that people have of you. You can't control how someone decides to treat you, right? But you can control how you decide to treat yourself. And that, in effect, can have an influence on how other people decide to interact with you and treat you, right? How you decide to interact with your own self can influence the way that yourself becomes, right? So have higher standards for yourself. You deserve it. The world deserves it. If you have a family and you're a man and you look at yourself as the leader, which you are, you want to set the standard. You don't want the standard to be low. You don't want your children following a poor example. You want your children following a higher example, because one day your children are going to grow up and they're going to be adults. And at least you should want them to be able to have the respect and have higher standards for themselves, right? And if you don't want any of that, then 9 times out of 10, you wouldn't even be on this channel, and this type of content isn't for you. This content is for people who want to do better with their lives. This content is for people who want to live healthier lives in every area: financially, emotionally, educationally, mentally, physically, spiritually, and any other way possible. And I'm going to make sure that I continue to have higher standards for myself and have higher standards for the type of content that I produce and provide to you. And as always, like this video, hit the subscribe button, and also hit the notification bell so that you can be notified anytime I have a video that drops. I appreciate your time and energy. Love to you all. You guys be safe and have a great week. Peace.